There's a great reason to constantly do this and always be out, you know, especially when you're this deep into it like me. It becomes a job. It is work. It's, you know, it's anything, you know. You could win $1 million every day from the lottery, and eventually you'd be like, I have to get up and go to the freaking lottery office again. You'd be surprised after like 10 years. You'd be like, I don't want to go. You can have the $1 million. So it's a weird analogy. I just came up with it, but it's kind of like that. But you know, one of the reasons is here across the street. It's a perfect example of the differences in them. You know, where I go in these Bigfoot worlds, they use these structures when they're out away from. Maybe, I don't know, when they're out in these woods, they could do structures in all these if they wanted to, and they do if you could look very carefully. But that's exactly what you have to do. These guys, I'm getting to a point, these guys don't. They do very few. They lay sticks down. They put markers. They'll do a leaner, things like that. They do fake fireplaces. They do weird things up there. In fact, I'm going to go in here, I think, today or tomorrow. I got to just take a look. I don't know if I'll film it or what. I'll bring my camera and see what happens. But you can tell. So ones that spend a lot of time topside typically incorporate structures, in my opinion. Ones that are genuinely inside and are very rarely up use way less structures. And then they'll use not only less structures, but less area. So they'll have their designated area. There's a good example right there. This is just working into the video. I had no idea that was going to be there. They did that. You know, they'll have their spots like that where I see them in and have filmed them in, and that's it. And I can't figure out what their deal is and why these guys are always the same. Like, because I consider these guys kind of like the ones at the petroglyphs. They're right there. They'll leave you like a gift. They'll be, you know, they'll do little things, but they will never give you like the whistles. It shows you why most of the time I'm getting whistles and sounds. They're not genuinely for me. They're for them. They know I'm going to hear them, but they are for each other. It's rare where I'm in a situation where they're literally going back and forth with me. It's so rare. You know, it's happened many times, but man, is it rare. Like, where I can just sit there and go, and he goes, and I'll go, and he'll go. You know, those are so hard to find, you know. I don't know if those are certain ones or what. But that's the confusion. Let me remind you guys that there's so much going on out here. It's one of the big reasons that we have so many arguments and so many problems believing the same things. Everybody deals with something different, typically, or a combination of things. So and some people like me, like, really have been involved and really have a feel for what's going on in their backyard or whatever. And I would never argue with one of those people or question a thing they say because I completely believe whatever they're telling me about their backyard. I really do. There's no reason to contact a guy like me who thinks knows everything and then try to convince him of something different. So when someone does that to me, you know, I listen because, let's see if we can't get the top of that. I never do that. Because I don't know everything. You know, I just know my spots, my areas. Let's look up here real quick. You know, so it's all different. Everyone thinks they're researching Bigfoot, and it's nothing to do with Bigfoot. It's called the unseen world. I don't want to have to explain this anymore. I really don't, you guys. You're not a Bigfoot researcher, okay? There's no such thing. This is the unseen world. There's hundreds, maybe thousands of different creatures, okay? In places like this. I don't know what's happening in the backwoods in Indiana. You know, I think it's very similar. These dudes. They come up right up there, like they were up there with me. And I don't think they walked up there. I swear they came right from the ground somehow. They just appeared there. I'm going to put some more unused clips. People seem to enjoy those. The timestamps that are always the best from those clips. So it's kind of weird. It's one of their spots right up there. Can't get them. They're so hard. I do get these guys on my video. Typically not on the zooms, though. I get them, they're like right there as I walk by. And they could care less. They're not even worried about me in the least, from what I can tell from the pictures. Let's get one more zoom on my special tree here. You guys know I don't do this very often around my house, but there's something big time going on here, and they're so careful. They're so careful. I want to see. I got to walk back over there and see if they fixed any of this. Let's see. Looks like they made a teepee in there. Come on. Sorry for the heat. It's making a lot of noise. Notice I gave them lots of time. Those are the little ones in there for some reason. And then the town ripped the whole thing down. It was one of the most amazing things ever. I even talked to a lady and her kids there. She's like, it's always been there. I was like, exactly. I told her what it was. She believed me completely. Usually a mom, like with kids, that's like she lives in like a 20, she told me where she lives. I know exactly her house. I was like, oh my, I even told her. I was like, oh my goodness. I know that house. I swear, it's like a $20 million house. And she is the most down-to-earth, which is, it's kind of cool because usually, these people that live in these $20 million houses have other houses that are $5 and $10 million. It's not always just the only house. And they get these attitudes and, egos, and not her. It's this red-haired chick with her kids and the nicest, most friendly person. I'm like, can I talk to you for a minute? Because we were kind of talking from a distance, and I didn't want to say anything in front of the kids. She's like, yeah, she came over. She's like, well, no. I was like, I don't really want to tell you because you're going to think I'm crazy. She's like, you have no idea what crazy is. I was like, okay. And she believed everything I said. That was such a great little talk. I wish I could have put it on the camera for you, but I didn't want to make her uncomfortable. All right, let's look how blatant. Can't really see, but it's too. I'm gonna drive right by it. They're so put there. And then they did this too. She's Lee, who I don't know how she knows. She doesn't know anything about structure. She's like, they did this for you. She told me. And I was like, nah, they didn't do it for me. But I know they did it. Right there. Look at that. Because it's coming this way out of the mountains. They come right through here. And then it's just marking there. Who knows what it's really marking, At this point, God only knows. And them. Hey, real quick, I want to see these clouds are really, really cool looking. Look at that face. It's a face recognition too. On the camera. I love finding faces in the clouds. Or finding just whatever, like they make amazing things. That is really cool. I mean look at that, you guys. God, Yeti, you stink. He stinks so bad overnight. Hey, look, it's an entire rainbow. Yeah, you can see it. It fades a little at the top, and then down here it's perfect. Perfect rainbow. That's pretty cool. It's a little faded like here, but I can see the whole thing. The camera loses it here a little bit, but it's one perfect arch. Usually I don't get to see that. That's all. That's the only reason I pulled out the camera. There's some pretty sun coming through in some places. Just fed these guys. That's it. Hey guys, you'll see me put a couple clips like this in this time of year when it's like today, where I decided not to go out really because I could have, but it's so it's chilly. It's actually 50 right now, but it feels a lot colder because there's humidity for some reason here, which we usually don't have. It's only this time of year we really get humid, and of course in the wintertime. with some snowstorms. But it just was one of those days where you all know what I'm talking about, where you're just like, you know what, I'm not doing it. It was cold, it was lonely type of day, and I was like, I don't want to do this. So let's go in here. I want to just I had to go to town and just get gas and stuff like that. I got a coffee before the snow, because this is my place. Like, I love to come over here and go by the caves, but I wanted to point out something interesting there, because someone said down the road that, Mark, do you know, because she watches my videos now, she's been watching them for over a year. I was like, you really do watch them? Because I thought she was like, oh yeah, we're gonna watch your videos. When I talked to them, I thought they were just being polite. And I should walk down to the wigwam tree. I'll do that today or tomorrow. But she really said she watches them. She's interested. She loves what I'm doing. She thinks that she believes me, and she's like, I knew when I first met you. And she doesn't like me, so please don't say that. Her husband was there. It's nothing like that. These are older people that are very cool. And she's just like, I knew. I could just tell when I talked to you that it was all real. I could see it in you. And I was like, you could? Because I guess I could. I'm trying not to lose that, because the genuine part of this, like the beginning where it was so exciting. And so anyway, they've closed off this whole thing here. She thinks because of my videos, because I showed the fake fireplace, I showed all these things and the timestamps up there, and the next thing you know, the state literally came in and closed it down as a research area or something like that, or whatever excuse they used. Not today, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to plan a trip back there. Here's my caves. I don't ever need to go in those caves again. No one watches it, first of all. I'm not going to risk my life for no reason. You can't imagine what it's like to crawl in caves of gypsum where the whole thing can collapse and you're literally in a hole, a tunnel as wide as your body, and no one cares and no one watches the video. It's an amazing thing. I did get 500,000 views on a couple of those, but the last one, 5, it shows you how it's just turned off my channel. Way better video than the ones that got all the views, and it only got 5,000 views. Callie's got like 3,000. It's just completely dead and turned off. And you wonder how they do it. You wonder why anyone that's onto this kind of thing or anything else disappears off the face of the earth. Because they make it so you leave on your own. It's all psychology. Your whole life is done by psychology. Everything they set up to make money, gambling, is all psychology based. It's all based, even though you're being robbed, the addiction part of it, which is psychology, will get to you, and you'll do it over and over and over and over until you lose your house and your family. And the same thing goes for drugs and everything else. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's look up here. Let's shut everything off. There's a hole, a really interesting hole that goes straight into the ground. I gotta go. I've only seen it once. I want to go. Just go stand on top of it and just look. It's absolutely huge, and I know they go into it. I just know. It's like in rocks, and so it's like a cave that goes straight down. Remember, I'm across the street. These guys, they know everything I do, every move I make, and they never give me anything. I gotta steal it from them. They're always right there. What is that? What about that bulldog Cassandra got here? That was amazing. Why does that look like a round head right there? Why on every zoom do I see something weird I did not expect?